Hi, welcome to Sugarama. If you like, I can explain a few things if you want to come into my world. I've been making sugar sculptures for quite a while now. I started about 5 years ago. I was originally a painter. That was what my degree was in at university. And the reason I got into cake and sugar craft was because I was frustrated by the kind of clutter and the amount of space that artwork took up in my room and in my art studio. So I became intrigued by the idea of edible art and the idea that I could spend weeks and months building a sculpture or something for an exhibition and it could be eaten by the gallery visitors. So I stepped away from my painting for a while and I started going to cake decorating classes and cake conventions and sugar craft conventions to learn the skills and to get to grips with this whole sugar craft culture that seemed to be in Britain at the moment. So I've organised my first cake exhibition about 4 years ago, and in that exhibition everyone could eat the artworks, and it was amazing. It was an amazing success and people were really positive about it, and people were really intrigued about what I was going to do in the future. So, step on 2 years maybe, and I started getting into sugar craft installations where I would create installations like this made out of cake and sugar. I spent a few months traveling around Turkey, and there I got a lot of inspiration from the temples and the churches and just the general architecture in Turkey. I'm also inspired by churches and monasteries and temples in general, in their historic significance and their significance in modern culture. And I like the kind of juxtaposition of this kind of historic significance and the sort of their importance in the religious aspect, and then combining it with the sugar, we sort of have this kind of interesting contradiction of things, that sugar is such a big part of today's society and we live in this quick fix, instant gratification world, and so sugar, I think, is almost eating sugar is almost like a ritualistic thing in the way that sort of that churches and other religions kind of conscribe edible eating as part of their rituals as well. Over the last few years I've been intrigued by what we could call the sort of cupcake culture and the rise in boutique cake shops and candy stores and things like that, and I was really intrigued by this. And I was interested in the tension to what this could signify of the way that kind of society was going. And on the one hand, it was an instant gratification thing and this sort of quick fix society, and on the other hand, we have this celebratory thing and this kind of like this whole cupcake thing and this generosity thing and community and home baking. These two things that are sort of like opposite ends of the spectrum. So this is what inspired me to create an artwork which captured a sort of these tensions and ambiguities. So I wanted it to be this visually mesmerizing artwork which is euphoric and multisensory and just spectacular to walk into, but also because it was made out of sugar and the certain imagery around the room, it also had a macabre, darker, disturbing aspect as well. So that's essentially to sum up the kind of meaning of the exhibition for me, is to sort of like tread on the line between these two fields, and hopefully it'll sort of comment on this sort of sugar culture or confectionery culture we live in today.